voiceover of another dressage test which I did online. Again, this was Intro C. So that would be good to compare, obviously, between this one and the one I rode in March, which was actually at an event at Wing. So we turn down the centre line in working trot and proceed down the centre line without halting and track left. I scored a 5.5 of this, as there was a slight wobble and I was drifting to the right. So yeah, I can definitely see that. I knew that when I rode it. At B, we circle right 20 metres in working trot. I scored a 6.5 for this. The judge said it was a good shape circle, but I could have been a bit more supple, which is obviously something we are trying to work on. At A, we turn down the centre line, and between D and X, we do a transition to medium walk. I scored a 5 for this, as I overshot the centre line. Yeah, definitely overshot that. I can see that there. At X, we circle left 10 metres and on the second half give and retake the reins. I scored a 5. The first half of the shape was too small. When we get back to X, we then circle left 10 metres and on the second half, we give and retake the reins. So on this circle, I scored a 6 and the judge wrote that I was better this way and I did give a brief give and retake. And I think I kept it brief because when I was practicing, she kept going into trot. So I was a bit nervous, even though I obviously wasn't at a competition, to actually give and retake the reins properly. So that's definitely something we need to work on. Between X and G, we had to do transition to working trot, and at C, turn left. I scored a 7 because I was straight for once. At E, we circle left 20 metres. I scored a 6.5 and she wrote that I was more supple. At A, we then do a serpentine with 3 loops. I scored a 6 and the judge wrote, great shapes but need to show bend. Again, I know this is definitely something we're trying to work on. In fact, when I watch it back, she looks awful. I'm joking, we're a work in progress. In fact, after I actually rode this, we managed to get a contacting walk, typical. So at C, we come back to a medium walk. I scored a 5 out of 5.5 because she was looking right. But that was where my other half was standing to film, so I know she was going to look that way. Across the long diagonal HXF on a long rein, I scored a 5. She needs to stretch more. Again, I know that. I can't get her to do that just yet. At F, we go to medium walk, and at A, we turn down the centre line. I scored a 5. I was on the right hand side again. X, halt and salute. I actually scored a 7. She said it was nearly a square halt. Oh yeah, almost. So I scored a 57.83% on this test, and the judge's mark said, lovely horse, just needs to be more supple and forward to help shapes. And then she also wrote, glad she kept the grass and the hay around with her.